Hello, good evening. I'm happy to be back alive again. And today we are talking about why Agile need more than a framework. And I'm going to be having an in-depth discussion today on the job market in 2025, right? I'll be focusing on Scrum. I'll also be focusing on the Agile business in general, business agility and all of that. So, what is our key question for today in order to reintroduce ourselves into the Scrum job market? Now, the first question I think I'm asking, which I'm also guessing everyone else is asking, it's simply what is happening to Agile in 2025? Why are there a lot of layoffs? And at the same time, why do we have a lot of people who are in the market trying to get a job, but they are not getting a job? Now, these are some of the key questions we want to answer in our today webinar. So, the first thing which I think has brought a lot of confusion, I would say, or that is kind of creating confusion, most especially for those who are in the agile space or looking for a job, is that there's quite a lot of misconception on what agile is all about and what it takes to become a scrum master, what it takes to become an agile coach in general. Right. So the first point I want to make is that we all look at agile as scrum, as safe, as kanban, right? Agile, it's beyond that. Agile is beyond just a framework. Agile is beyond just having those certification. Agile is beyond just studying to get a job. Agile, it's more about the entire mindset that focus on people and how people can become agents of transformation. And this simply means that for you to become truly agile or for you to succeed in the agile world, the first thing you need to focus on is you need to focus on yourself. You need to focus on yourself. Now, when you focus on yourself, it becomes now important. When you focus on yourself, it becomes important for you now to think about how does the agile market actually need me? Two things here. So the reason why the outcome both for companies and both for those who are also looking for a job has been more like hollow is because number one, the companies who are hiring scrum masters and agile coaches are looking for result, but they are also looking for the wrong result. Why do I say they're looking for the wrong result? They're paying more attention on velocity and also on the throughput. How much is the agile team able to um, produce, or how much is the agile team, what quantity of work are they able to take within a specific period? And because of that, they are ignoring what is the quality of work and what is the sustainability aspect of it and what is the transformation aspect of agile in terms of the company. And because they are not investing a whole lot in the sustainability or the change aspect of agile, we are finding it very difficult to get the real result. So because of that, they simply come to the assumption that agile doesn't work. And now they're laying off a whole lot of people. Now, on the other side, an average person looking for a job wants to get a certification and then want to do a couple of practice, a couple of YouTube videos, and then they're hoping that they will get a job after getting a CSM certification, studying Jira, and then getting a job. Now, when I talk to a whole lot of people, their focus is, Hi, Dr. Francis, I already have my certification. I just need to shadow someone. I just need to learn Jira and then I'm good to go. But that is not the case. Now, I've been in the space of helping people navigate towards getting a job for more than 5 years now. I've also been actively implementing Agile with mega companies for the past 8+ years now. What has changed, or what have I seen as a major setback? One simple thing. One simple thing. The fact that we have a lot of people in the agile space who are not willing to continuously invest in themselves. As simple as that. Whether you are looking for a Scrum Master job, whether you're already working as a Scrum Master, whether you're working as an agile coach, beyond just the implementation, there are very few people who are willing to go beyond the normal and continuously invest in themselves. Why am I saying this? Now, I train a whole lot of coaches in my community and also those who are looking to get into the space. Now, those who are outstanding, and when they're talking, you can see them talk and breathe agile, are simply the ones that have been in the space for the past 3, 4 years, having consistent learning. What we do is we have averagely about 4 training in a week, right? And these people constantly show up from one training to another consistently for the past 3 years, for the past 4 years. So there is no way that when they talk, they will not breathe agile. Now, an average person looking for a job is not willing to stay consistent for the next 90 days, is not willing to stay consistent for the next 1 year. Recently, I have a couple of people in my community who just had jobs. But then out of this about 10 people, at least, they have been consistent for the past 5, 6 months. This is to tell us that Agile has not gone anywhere. The process is shifting. It requires more consistency. It requires people who are invested in the career overall. So, in order to reintroduce the Scrum job market, now the Scrum job market is not seeking for people who have certification or people who know a little bit here or a little bit there about Agile. The Scrum job market today is seeking for people who are fully embedded in understanding Scrum from a transformational perspective. Transformational perspective, there are two dimensions here. It's not about helping the company implementing Agile, it's about being transformed yourself and positioning yourself in a place where you can lead the change. Most often we'll look at transformation or we'll look at helping company implementing Agile as defining the processes or teaching them Scrum or helping to run ceremonies. Agile, it's more about 20% processes and 80% people. So the job market today, trust me, it's definitely not smiling with anybody. If you've had an opportunity to be in, to take an interview recently, you realize that there's a whole big shift from asking the question, oh, tell me about Scrum, or what is the time that you facilitated a backlog refinement meeting. They want you to be able to share real life example of what you have been working on, which means that even those who have been in the field and have not clearly invested themselves on how to continuously build themselves publicly, how to speak, and also understand the changes that are happening in the market, especially with the introduction of AI, you're missing out a whole lot. So, what are we talking about? To summarize, what you need to do to reposition yourself in 2025 to get a Scrum job. There are multiple of Scrum jobs that are available every day. The market is becoming competitive, which is the reason why the game of interviewers have stepped up. So if you want to be the person who want to grab the next Scrum Master job, I want you to pay very close attention to this. The first thing which I want you to understand is that Agile is not about Scrum. It's not about Safe. It's not about Kanban. Agile, it's about collaborating with stakeholders, collaborating with people, understanding business needs, and working with people on how to meet this business need. This simply means that Scrum will not fix the problem of companies not getting results from Agile. The fact that we have a Jira board and we are doing Scrum, we are doing daily stand up, doesn't give us result in Agile. The fact that we are running PI planning and then doing all the ceremony doesn't give us result about Agile. Trust me, they are not going to give you the result. Now, what is going to give you the result? What is going to give result is we are looking for people who are courageous enough to be able to sit down face to face with stakeholder, evaluate what they want as result, and being able to pivot the ideas or being able to introduce the ideas or the result that stakeholder want into the whole process. So we need to learn how to model business value into agile processes. That is what is driving change these days. Secondly, we need to be vulnerable enough to be able to give up some of the practices which we think they are pure agile and to be able to step up in order to understand that there is a whole big change in the way the market operates. And then thirdly, consistency is the key. I want to ask everyone watching a question. If you were to stay consistent in practicing agile for the next 6 months, for the next 12 months, and end up getting the result of becoming an agile practitioner, making a six-figure income if you're in the North America, is that worth your time? If the answer is a yes for you, now the question is, why are you not doing it? Now, for those who are doing it, how consistent have you been in the pursuit of becoming an agile practitioner? Now, when I say consistent, it has nothing to do with hopping from one boot camp to another. It has nothing to do with the number of YouTube videos that you watch. It has more to do with your personal transformation. It has more to do with the habit that you have towards studying Scrum. It has more to do with everything that you need from a leadership perspective, from a change perspective, to become the person that the hiring manager want to hire. Now, this starts by you deliberately prioritizing your career within the whole scope. A lot of people give a lot of excuses. Oh, my schedule is so busy. I work 9 to 5. I can't do anything after this. I have kids. I can only do things when my kid go to sleep and all of that. The job market doesn't understand excuses. It understands people who push through regardless. Lastly, and if you definitely have a question to ask me about the agile market today, you can type that in the chat session and I will be able to answer that before I leave in the next couple of minutes. Is it really possible for me to get a job now? Is agile going away? It's possible for you to get a job in the next 2 weeks, the next 3 weeks. Agile is not going anywhere. There are even more jobs today than you will imagine in the last years. What has changed has just been the fact that we have a whole lot of people entering the space without knowing what to do. So if you want an agile job, you need to be able to separate yourself and stand out from the generic people who attend the generic courses and do not have anything beyond understanding how to define daily stand up, how to define Scrum. When we are making a decision to hire someone who want to join our team, we're not so much careful about what you know on Agile and what is Scrum. We're more conscious about how you communicate and how you relate with people. So most of the cases, we're going to put you in situation where it seems a bit difficult. And how do you handle these challenges and still remain a true leader? So, and which is one of the reasons why I think a lot of people ask me, I've been coaching Scrum now for more than 5 years. What's your strength? And how are you able to help people still get the job despite the fact that the market is really rough, despite the fact that many people are not getting interview? Now, one of the things we have come to discover in my community where we help people actually get jobs is that the problem is not about teaching people Scrum. The problem is not about promising people that you will help them get job. The real problem is providing people the space where they find themselves. When they find themselves, they can become what they want to become. Right. A lot of people just give excuses because they want to blame someone. Oh, I was hoping to get this, but I'm not getting this. Many people are simply just looking for a community where they can shift their blame to, right? But becoming who you want to become, especially for my fellow Scrum Master who are in the job market, is not about, oh, I need to learn this, or I need to learn some practicals, or I need to learn how to use Jira, or I need to learn how to use these tools. This is important. But what is more important? What is more important? What is more important? It's simply the fact that you need to transform yourself first. When you transform yourself first, you find a job. Trust me. When we train people to get to catch this concept that the whole goal about getting a job has never been about you learning Scrum. I know people who are very good in Scrum, they will not have a job, trust me. But simply because they have not understood that the job is in them, the job is not in the learning. Now, when we train them to understand that I am the job, so I need to build myself. And sometimes you might be very good with the theory. You might be very good with the practical. You might even have worked as a Scrum Master, and then you step out, you realize that it's very difficult for you to get a job. But the problem is not about you not knowing what to say. The problem is about you being at a position where you feel like, I don't need to do more because I already have everything I need. Right. So, but the job is not about you having everything you need. The job is you figuring out a revelation in you or something in you that makes you know that you're unstoppable. There is nothing that will stop you from getting that job. When we help people to master this, they can have 3, 4, 5 offers in less than 2 weeks. And sometimes it takes almost about a year to get people master this. Trust me, it takes almost about a year. Now, one of the things I want to do in my subsequent Thursday live session, which I'll host them every 5 p.m. on Thursday Central Time, is something I used to do in the past, but I cannot stop. But now, with the full understanding of what is going on in the market, I want to bring more people to share what actually really make a difference for them, why they struggled for more than a year, and then finally figure out, oh, this is the secret, and being able to land multiple jobs in less than no time. Right. So it's our space for us to transform, not just for Scrum Masters, but also for the companies. For companies, many companies are getting Scrum around. Trust me. And if you see the rate at which people are being laid off in company in the space of Agile, you would think Agile is completely going away. No, it's simply because the foundation is set wrong. If the foundation is wrong, we can get result. If we can get result, what happened? Anyone in that chain definitely is out. And we need to understand that as Scrum Masters, we are more of victims of circumstance because Scrum Masters are more at the implementation phase of Agile. Now, the real transformation are those who are in that space called transformational leader. And with all due respect to the leaders and the big bosses in the company, very few of them know what they are doing. So they go make decision that doesn't sustain iterative or incremental delivery, and they push this decision down at the level of the team. And then the framework itself cannot support that. And that is why I started by saying Scrum is Agile is not about Scrum. It's not about safe. It's not about the framework. It's about people. Because if you're only at the implementation phase using all the different ceremonies to implement without understanding and having the knowledge that the problem might be about decisioning, not about the implementation, you might be pushing too hard on the wrong surface. All right, so this is quite a hard conversation to have, and answering why the Scrum or the Agile market has become very difficult. It's a learning case, it's a learning phase. And for people who are truly Agile practitioners, this is a period you need to do more because things are going to turn around very quick, very soon. Trust me, before the end of this year, anyone who have viewed themselves to stand out, you will need to pick the kind of job you want to do in Scrum. The people who are not, who are definitely drawing back and giving excuses, you will need to go back to the drawing board. All right. So I just wanted to bounce back to reintroduce the agile space again. I do share content daily on my LinkedIn page. And most often, if you want me to talk about anything, send me a DM. Oh, Dr. Francis, I want you to discuss this concept. But then, if you also need help, if you're like, oh, I'm in the job market and I need help breaking through, trust me, we have an amazing community. We don't teach Scrum. We help you to find yourself. When you find yourself, you find Scrum. Right? The Scrum we do is part of our daily activity. So when you come, our major concern is not to help you master the theory and the concept. That's part of it. Our major concern is to help you find yourself. First, when you find yourself, mastering the theory and concept becomes something you can do. Now, if you also look on this video description, I've created a WhatsApp channel because I want to do a couple of webinars this day just to help people answer more questions directly and to push that ahead. But what I'm also going to do this weekend is I'll create a question and answer session where I'm just going to come live on board and we can go through as many questions as possible, especially with the introduction of Agile and AI. We can talk a whole lot about that and how you can leverage most of that to bounce back in the job market. All right, everybody, have a good Thursday. Tomorrow is a Friday, and obviously, have a good weekend. I'll see you in another live session.